Good morning, good evening, friends. Welcome to my channel, Ek Kitab Se Ek Moti, which in English means a pearl or gem from one book. So today I'm going to read the translation of a few shlokas or hymns from this great hymn or stotra, Aditya Hrudaya Stotram. So this has been published by Giri Trading Agency Private Limited. I bought this from Chennai, the one that they have in Mylapore. They have a branch, I think the main branch in Chennai is in Mylapore. So I bought this from there. So there are great advantages of reading the Aditya Hrudaya Stotram. One of the things it does is it cures us of depression or our unwillingness to face certain challenging and difficult situations. So when I say depression, I mean it in the general sense, not in the medical sense. So I'm not talking about medical depression, which might be caused because of chemicals or which might have some other diagnosis. I'm just talking about kind of discouragement and despair that we face when we face difficulties. So I'll just give you a background of how this stotra was given to Sri Ram. So in the Valmiki Ramayana, this incident happens. Sri Ram is about to start the final battle with Ravana, and when he is about to start the fight and he sees Ravana approaching him, he becomes a little bit worried. Yeah, that's how it's mentioned even in this this copy that I have and in the Valmiki Ramayana. So let me tell you what his state of mind was when that situation arose. So when the great cosmic sage Agastya had come along with all the gods to witness the battle between Ram and Ravan, saw Ram lost in worried thoughts. So Ram was worried. Saw Ram lost in worried thoughts, and Ravana was ready and energetic for a fresh fight. Sage Agastya approached Ram and spoke this. So there can be different analysis of why he was worried, because it was maybe, I'm just kind of guessing, so it was a final battle and it was going to take all the resources of Sri Ram to fight that battle. And remember, when he was on his earth, he was in his human form, so he had to use all the natural physical resources that anyone else possesses to fight that battle without using his divine powers. That's why to save Lakshmana he had to send Hanuman to get the Sanjeevani booty or the Sanjeevani herb. It's Herb, but usually the pronunciation is herb. So he had to send Hanuman to get that Sanjeevani booty, and he had to seek the help of Sugriv and some of his other companions. So we should understand this in that context. So if this stotra or hymn can cure the worries of Sri Ram, it can cure the worries of anyone. And the other thing is, when Sage Agastya comes along with the devatas or the gods to witness the battle, and when he sees Ram worried, he gives him, that is Sage Agastya gives this hymn to Sri Ram. That is, he tells him what this hymn is all about. He himself recites it, Sage Agastya recites it and transfers that knowledge to Sri Ram and asks him to recite it 3 times, I think. And that's what is mentioned here. So this hymn is all about worshipping the sun god, Lord Surya Dev, and to derive energy from that worship. So there are quite a few benefits mentioned in this translation of some of the shlokas that are a part of this hymn. So I'll read the entire hymn in Sanskrit towards the end of the video, but before that let me just discuss a few things, and I'll end the video with a chanting or reciting of this hymn. So shlokas, I think 3 to 5 talk about the benefits of this hymn, and also shloka 25 and shloka 28. So I'll just read the translation, and then we'll have a brief discussion, and then I'll recite the actual hymn. Chanting this holy hymn Aditya Hrudayam. It's also called Aditya Hrudaya Stotram. Hrudayam also, because in Gujarat and in some other places people do pronounce the Kri sound, right? Krishna. They pronounce it as Ru, so Krishna. So that's also fine. I mean, both are different ways of pronouncing the same. A vowel or ach, we call all these vowels ach in Sanskrit. So, or swara in Hindi we call them, or even in Sanskrit I think these are called swaras. So the ri swara can be pronounced as ru as well. That's how different people pronounce it in different areas. Chanting this holy hymn Aditya Hrudayam, dedicated to the sun god, will lead to the destruction of all your enemies and bring victory and supreme unending bliss. This hymn is the most auspicious among all the auspicious hymns. All types of sins get destroyed by reciting this daily with devotion. All types of depressions and sorrows get subdued by its recital. It is not only the destroyer of sin, sorrow, anxiety, anguish, etc., but it is also the giver of longevity. This is uttama, that is supreme among hymns, as it is fast in providing good results. It provides quick results. I mean, in the battlefield, Sri Ram got quick results, right, out of this worshipping of the Lord Sun. O Raghava, when a man is caught in the whirlpool of dangers and difficulties, if he recites and offers salutations to the sun god through this hymn, he will be relieved of fear and protected by this Lord. If he is caught in the wild forest of doubts and despondency, he will become fearless and get rid of all those troubles by singing his praise. And then the final shloka that talks about the benefit of reading this, chanting this stotra will shake off all despondency, doubt, despair, faint-heartedness, and increase happiness, hopefulness, and I just added one more, and positive activity, because when we are worried, our activity is something that suffers, and we usually don't feel like doing the things that we ought to be doing. Now, this is what I wanted to talk about in this video. What are the benefits of reading the actual Aditya Hrudaya Stotra? So I'll read the Stotra, but just a few lines or words about the benefits as well. Now, one thing that we learn from Surya Devata, or the sun god, is that the sun is always bright and the sun is always active. So that's why even in the Bhagavad Gita, Shri Krishna tells Arjuna that he first transferred the wisdom of yoga to the sun god. He uses the word Vivasvan. Vivasvan is also another name of the sun. So why did he transfer this knowledge of karma yoga to the sun god? Because we see that the most active being in this universe is the sun god, and his activity is beneficial to us, to every being on the earth. So constant activity and selfless activity, that's what we learn from the sun god. And total brightness, I mean, the sun is bright, the sun is active, and the sun is selfless. So we too can live a successful life by learning from the sun, that is always be bright and cheerful, spread happiness and spread positivity. The other thing is be active, whatever might be the conditions, just remain active. The other thing is be selfless, don't just think of your own benefit, provide benefits and goodness to the entire world. And one more thing we learn is that sometimes there might be clouds that cover the sun, but the sun is not affected. I mean, maybe it's just a way of drawing some lessons from a natural phenomenon. So, because of the clouds, the sunlight might not reach us, but still the sun is active. I mean, the entire process is still being carried out by the sun. So sometimes our activities may not seem to be fruitful, but then it doesn't mean we stop our activity and that we kind of stop fruitful actions in our lives. So always remain active, even though sometimes there might be some clouds of despair or some clouds of discouragement, but these will be cleared soon and you'll be successful in all your endeavors. So this is what I wanted to talk about. Now let me chant the Aditya Hrudaya Stotram, and then I'll end the video. Shri Aditya Hrudaya Stotram. Om Bhaskaraya Namah. Om Adityaya Namah. Dhyanam. Jayatu Surya Sapta Lokaika Deepam. Kirana Shamita Papa Klesha Dukkhasya Nasham. Aruna Kirana Gamyam Adim Aditya Murtim Sakala Bhuvana Vandyam Bhaskaran Namami. Now Bhaskaram Namami, but I just listened to some scholars of the Sanskrit language, and they said that when the sound, right, anuswar is there, and if it's followed by na, the na sound, then usually you should change this ma to na. So Bhaskaran Namami. It sounds better. It flows very smoothly, actually. Now here starts the actual stotra. Tato yuddha parishrantam samare chintaya sthitam ravanam chagrato drishtva yuddhaya samupasthitam daivataischa samagamya drashtum abhyagato ranam upagamya bravid ramam agastyo bhagavan rishi. Rama Rama Mahabaho Shinu Guhyam Sanatanam Yena Sarva Narin Vatsa Samare Vijayishyasi. Aditya Hrudayam Punyam Sarvashatru Vinashanam, destroyer of all enemies. Sarvashatru Vinashanam Jayavahan Japen Nityam Akshayam Paramam Shivam. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam Sarva Papa Pranashanam. Chinta Shoka Prashamanam Ayurvardhanam Uttamam. Chinta, worry, shok, despair or sorrow, and it subdues them. Chinta Shoka Prashamanam Ayurvardhanam Uttamam increases our life, longevity. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam Sarva Papa Pranashanam. Chinta Shoka Prashamanam Ayurvardhanam Uttamam. Rashmi Mantam Samudyantam Devasura Namaskritam Pujayasva Vivasvantam Bhaskaram Bhuvaneshwaram Sarva Devatmako Yeshah Tejasvi Rashmi Bhavanah Yesha Devasura Ganan Lokan Patigabhastibhihi Yesha Brahmaja Vishnuscha Shivaskandah Prajapatihi Mahendro Dhanadah Kalo Yamassomo Hyapam Patihi. Pitaro Vasavassadhyah Hyashvinau Maruto Manuhu Vayurvahni Praja Prana Ritukarta Prabhakarah. Now, Ashvinau, because most of us who speak the Hindi language, we pronounce O as O, not Au, but in Sanskrit it should be pronounced Au. So, Pitaro Vasavassadhyah Hyashvinau Maruto Manuhu Vayurvahni Praja Prana Ritukarta Prabhakarah. Aditya Savita Surya Khagak Pusha Gabhastiman Suvarna Sadrisho Bhanur Hirannareta Divakarah. Haridashvas Sahasrarchis Sapta Saptir Marichiman Timiron Mathanashambhus Tvashta Martanda Anshuman. Hirannagarbhasya Shirastapano Bhaskaro Ravihi Agnigarbhodite Putrash Shankhasya Shiranashanah. Vyomanathastamo Bhedi Rigyajusama Paragah Ghanavristirapam Mitro Bindhavithi Plavangamah. Atapi Mandali Mrityu Pingalas Sarvatapanah Kaver Vishwo Mahatejah Raktas Sarvabhavodbhavah Nakshatragrahataranam Adipo Vishwabhavanah Tejasamapi Tejasvidvadash Atman Namostute. Now you may have noticed that when there is like the ach is missing, or between two consonants there is no vowel sound, so nakshatra and then graha. So gra is like two consonants together, right? So what you do is you say you attach it with the previous vowel. So nakshatra and then graha. So nakshatra, then you add the half ga, right? Ga and ra have been used in this. Ga is without the ach, and then it's followed by ra. So nakshatra graha. So nakshatra graha taranam adipo vishvabhavanah tejasamapi tejasvidva, because the is like it doesn't have a vowel sound, so I attach it to the previous vowel sound. Tejasamapi tejasvidva dashatman namostute. Namah purvaya giraye paschimaya namah jyotirgananam pataye dinadhipataye namah Japaya Jaya Bhadraya Haryashvaya Namo Namaha Namo Namah Sahasrancho Adityaya Namo Namaha Nama Ugraya Viraya Sarangaya Namo Namaha Namah Padma Prabodhaya Martandaya Namo Namaha Brahmashanachyuteshaya Suryaya Aditya Varchase Bhasvate Sarvabhakshaya Raudraya Vapushe Namaha Tamognaya Himagnaya Shatrughnaya Amitatmane Kritagnaghnaya Devaya Jyotisham Pataye Namaha Taptachami Karabhaya Vahnaye Vishvakarmane Namastamo Ruchaye Lokasakshine Nashayat Yesha Vaibhutan Tadeva Srijate Prabho Payat Yesha Tapat Yesha Varshat Yesha Gabhastibhihi Yesha Supteshu Jagarti Bhuteshu Parinishthitah Yesha Chaivagnihodrancha Phalanchaivagnihodrinam Vedaschakra. So I'm adding it with the previous vowel. Vedaschakratavaschaiva Vedaschakratavaschaiva Kratunam Phalamevacha Yani Krityani Lokeshu Sarva Esha Ravih Prabhu Enam Apatsu Kricreshu Kantareshu Bhayeshu Cha Kirtayan Purushah Kaschin Navasidati Raghava na avasidati. So he's not depressed. Enam apatsu pricheshu kantareshu bhayeshu cha kirtayan purushah kaschin navasidati Raghava. Pujayasvainam ekagro pujayasvainam ekagro deva devan jagatpatim etatrigunitam japtva yuddheshu vijayishyasi. Now in Hindi we usually say vai, that is I sound, I. For example, when we'll say I'm just thinking of a word with I. So Sainik is someone who is a soldier. But in Sanskrit, you would say Sainik. So, I. Pujayas vainam ekagro. Now, au and I, not au and a. So that's how the Sanskrit sounds are. So they sound better with that. Now I'll tell you a personal story. So I had a friend called Kaushik when I was in the 4th or the 5th standard, I think. So I used to hear this pronunciation in Tamil Nadu. Kaushik. So I thought that's not the way. So I used to pronounce his name as Kaushik. But later on I listened to a Sanskrit scholar and she said that it should be pronounced Au Kaushik. So his name was being pronounced right and I was wrong. So anyhow, that's a personal reminiscence. Pujaya's vainam ekagro deva devan jagatpatim etat triguditan japtva yuddheshu vijayishyasi. अस्मिन् क्षणे महाबाहो रावणं त्वं वधिष्यसि एवमुक्त्वा ततो गस्त्यो जगाम च यथागतम् एतच्छ्रुत्वा महातेजाः नष्टशोको भवत्तदा. Then the shok or the sorrow was destroyed, the sorrow of Ram. Sri Ram. Etachyutva mahatejaah nashtashoko bhavattada dharayamasa suprito raghava prayatatmavan Adityam preksha japtva tu param harsham avaptavan trirachamya shuchurbhutva dhanuradaya viryavan Ravanam preksha hrishtatma yuddhaya samupagamat sarvayatnena mahata vadhe tasya ghrito bhavat. It's Ghrito or Thrito, I'm sorry. It's Thrito Bhavat Ravanam Preksha Hrishtatma Yuddhaya Samupagamat Sarvayatnena Mahata Vadhe Tasya Dhrito Bhavat Atharaviravadan Niriksha Ramam Muditamanah Paramam Prahishyamana Nishichara-pati Sanshayam Viditva Suraganam Adhyagato Vachastvareti. So there is a change of the meter or the chand here. Then I think the last Mangala Prarthana. Mangala Prarthana. Suryam Sundara Lokanatham Amritam Vedanta Saram Shivam Jnana Brahmamayam Suresham Amalam Lokaika Chittaswayam Indraditya Naradhipam Suragurun Trailokya Chudamanim Brahma Vishnu Shivaswarupa Hrudayam Vande Sadabhaskaram. So again there is a change of the meter or the chand. Bhano Bhaskara Martanda Chandrashme Divakara Ayurarogyam Aishwaryam Shriyam Putranscha Dehi Me. Ityarshe Srimad Ramayane Valmikiye Adikavye Yuddha Kande Saptottara Shatatamas Sargah Vasishthopadishtam Aditya Hrudayam Sampurnam. So this has been taken from the Valmiki Ramayana. So as we discussed earlier, if you are in sorrow, if you're in despair, and you feel a lack of energy, recite this and you'll get a lot of energy to handle all your challenges and difficulties in life. And learn from the sun god, the Surya Dev, who was the first recipient of Karma Yoga, and he's bright, he's active, he's selfless, and he doesn't stop even though sometimes his actions might not produce the desired results because of some dark clouds. And the clouds will clear away and you'll lead a continuous, fruitful and successful life if you learn from the sun and imitate his great actions in your daily lives. So thanks for watching this video.